Hey guys, it's Sarah and today I have another video in my ranking series. Today I'm going to be ranking all of the mascaras that I have tried so far in 2020. I have 6 of them here and I'm just going to be ranking them from my least favorite to my favorite. There was a time when I didn't have a favorite cruelty-free mascara. It used to be so hard to find a good cruelty-free mascara, especially from the drugstore, and now I have so many really good ones that I've tried. Before I get into it, I probably should just give a little bit of context on my lashes and what I look for in mascara. So I have naturally pretty long lashes. I really like a dramatic lash look. I don't curl my lashes because they already have enough natural curl to them that I don't really feel the need to. And I don't wear false lashes, so I like for my mascara to give me a lot of length, a lot of volume. I just like a pretty dramatic lash look, so keep that in mind. And I also like good staying power. I can't stand when mascaras smudge or flake. None of the ones that I'm going to share today do that though, so hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea of what I look for in a mascara. But let's go ahead and get started with my least favorite. So my least favorite mascara that I tried this year was the CoverGirl Clump Crusher Extensions mascara. This one has a spiky plastic bristle brush that is curved. Normally I love this style of brush. Looking at the wand, I really did expect to like this, but the formula of this one, it just gives a very natural lash look, which may be exactly what you look for in a mascara. But basically it just gave my lashes a black tint, somewhat lengthening, pretty much no volume whatsoever, but it does live up to the Clump Crusher name because I never had any issues with clumping with this one, and I also never had any issues with it smudging or flaking. I did like this as a lower lash mascara. I'm just not somebody that goes out of my way to have a separate mascara for my lower lashes, but if you want a natural looking mascara that's not going to transfer, that's going to work well on the lower lashes, this may be exactly what you're looking for. I just felt like it didn't really do anything for my lashes. Number 5, I actually did really like. I just didn't like it as much as my other favorites, and this is the one that I used up the longest ago, so my memory may not be great with this one, but I do remember really liking it, just not loving it enough to repurchase it right away. This is the CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume Mascara. Again, I have the shade Very Black. I usually go for the blackest possible shade because, like I said, I love dramatic lashes. This one also has a spiky plastic bristle brush. From what I remember, this one gave a really good amount of length and volume. The one thing that I didn't love about this was the brush. I like when brushes like really get into the lashes, you know, I like when it combs through them in a really satisfying way. I felt like since this one has pretty short bristles, I'd have to build up a few coats to get the nice dramatic look that I want, but once I got it to that point, I loved the look. Also, I don't remember ever having any issues with smudging or flaking, so this is a really solid mascara. If this was on sale for like $4 or $5, I probably would buy it again if I was in need of a mascara, but yeah, this is a great option, and this one has been around for so many years, and I feel like this is so many people's like holy grail mascara. Next I have the one that I'm wearing on my lashes right now. This is the only one that I have open. I wish I could have done demos of all of these, but some of them I used up like 10 months ago. The only reason I still have them is because I'm saving them for my year-end makeup empties, so yeah, apologies for that. But this is actually a Canadian brand. This is the Marcelle Volum'xtension Electric Mascara. This one says it's a thickening mascara, and I have the shade Black. So this is the only one actually in this lineup with more of a natural bristle brush. It's just kind of a very straight, traditional looking brush. Typically I don't love this kind of brush, but I was actually really impressed by this mascara. It definitely is very volumizing like it says, but it's also very lengthening. I don't ever have issues with it smudging. I feel like it stays on really well. It works great on the lower lashes. I like that it has kind of a thin brush. I feel like it's easy to maneuver without making a mess on my eyelids, so this is a solid option. If you are one of my Canadian viewers, I think something like 6% of you guys are Canadian, this would be a great one to check out. At least in the US, you can also order off their website and maybe in other countries as well. So yeah, really loving that one. And from a brand that I'd never really heard much about before and that I'd never tried before, I was really impressed. Number 3 is one that's been a favorite of mine for a long time. This is actually the second one of these that I've used up, and it's the Flower Lash Warrior Mascara. I have the shade Fiercest Black. So this is absolutely my kind of brush. It's another spiky rubber bristle brush, and it's a pretty large brush. So if you don't like large brushes, you definitely wouldn't like this one. This is my favorite type of brush, as you'll probably see in my top 3. It is curved slightly, and it has various different lengths of bristles depending on which side of the brush you're using. On two sides there's actually a big gap where there's no bristles, and I like using that side to coat my lashes, and then I can turn it to the longer bristle side to comb through my lashes and get the length and separation that I really like. So this mascara has it all. It has length, it has volume, it has separation. I actually feel like a lot of people don't like spiky brushes like this, so if that's you, definitely skip this one, but I love it. The only thing is, because it's a pretty large brush, it can get quite messy. I a lot of times would get just like specks of it on my eyelids that I'd have to kind of like scrape off with a spoolie once it dried. But my number 2 is the only high-end mascara in this lineup. Oh man, I wasn't really expecting to like this one because it's got a really weird brush. This is the Urban Decay Lash Freak Mascara. Once again, a spiky plastic bristle brush. There's one side that has no bristles at all. I don't really use that side. Apparently that side is supposed to be for like lifting your lashes or something. I've just found that that side is not very helpful, but that doesn't matter because the other side is really all I need. It almost looks like the underside of like a millipede, which I know that sounds so gross, but it's almost like 2 rows of long bristles and then there's a gap in between and then there's this weird ball tip at the end. It's a weird looking brush. At first I was like, how is this gonna work? The amount of volume and length that this gives is unreal. So if you like the Flower Lash Warrior, or if what I described about the Flower Lash Warrior sounds appealing to you, but you want that times 10, this is the mascara for you. It can be a little clumpy and a little high maintenance, and that's why it's not my number 1. Also because it's pricey. I did receive this in PR. I'll go ahead and say I would not pay full price for this, but if it ever goes on sale, I would absolutely purchase it if I was in need of a mascara. Or they also sell a mini that's $13, and that one I may purchase just because that's a good price, and I'd be curious to see how long the mini will last. I was able to get about 4 months of use out of this one. This one, oh man, I missed this one because this one I just recently used up. If you don't like clumpy lashes, then you would probably want to skip this one. But I don't want that to scare people away because to me, I don't think many people like really clumpy lashes. I personally don't usually. The first time I used this, it loaded up my lashes with so much product that I was like, no, this is not gonna work. But then you can kind of comb through it and it's still gonna be a little clumpy, but the trade-off is really intense volume. And after I used it a couple of times, it did kind of calm down with the clumpiness, and I wasn't having as many issues with it looking clumpy or like clumping my lashes together too much. If you're willing to look past that and the fact that it can be just a little bit messy because it's just such a strange brush. Once again, similar to the flower one, I would sometimes get mascara, kind of dots of mascara on my lids that I have to clean up after, but the kind of end result of this one is incredible. I feel like there's nothing else quite like it out there. My number 1 is kind of the one that I think I will end up going back to out of all of these. It is the most affordable one, and it's just a good kind of old reliable mascara. This is the e.l.f. Keep Your Curl Mascara. This is another rubber bristle curved wand. Definitely doesn't give as much volume and length as the Lash Freak, but that's not necessarily what I need every single day. It still does give a really good amount of length and volume, kind of like the Flower Lash Warrior, but I actually like the brush on the Keep Your Curl a little bit better. It is a smaller brush. So that smaller one is the e.l.f. Keep Your Curl and the bigger one is Flower Lash Warrior. And I like both brushes, but I feel like because the e.l.f. brush is a little bit smaller, I just have an easier time maneuvering it through my lashes without making a mess. It's a little bit easier to work with. I know some people have said that this one is really hard to remove. I've heard that from a few people. I never really had that problem. When I had this open, that was actually before I started using a cleansing balm. I was just using those kind of makeup eraser style cloths to remove my makeup. I felt like I was able to remove it just fine. So if you are using like an oil-based makeup remover with it, maybe just use that alongside some sort of makeup eraser cloth or just washcloth if you don't have something like that. And hopefully that will help. I don't know, I'm curious. Whenever I do get around to repurchasing this, I probably will go back to this one once I finish the Marcelle one. I'm curious to see how much harder it is to remove with just a cleansing balm. I don't know, I was honestly surprised that so many people were having that problem, but I don't know, maybe it has something to do with the way that it interacts with an oil. I never had much luck with e.l.f. mascaras until I tried this one, and I wasn't expecting much from this at all. I really only purchased it because I was doing a full face of e.l.f. video and I needed a mascara for it. And I went with this one because it seemed to have like one of the highest ratings on their website, and I hadn't even heard of it, but I was like, no, we'll try it out. I was shocked at how much I liked it. It's kind of a combo of the price and the formula, how easy it is to apply, all of that puts this in the #1 spot for me. But those are those 6 mascaras. Honestly, with the exception of the CoverGirl Clump Crusher one, all 5 of these are really, really solid options, and I would recommend all of these. I guess it kind of depends on what style of brush you like best. If you like a natural bristle brush, I'd recommend the Marcelle one if you can get your hands on it. If you like a straight brush, the CoverGirl Lash Blast is great. And then if you like something curved and spiky, these 3 are all great options. I used to just never be able to find a good cruelty-free mascara, and I just feel like now there's so many options. Especially with CoverGirl now being cruelty-free, there's so many more options. And I do want to try more CoverGirl ones. I've also tried Supersizer and Exhibitionist. Both of those were okay, but they were good but not great. I didn't like either of those as much as I liked the orange tube one. If there's any other CoverGirl mascaras you think I would like, let me know, because I would like to try more from them, just because they are so well known for their mascaras. So anyway, those are all 6 of the mascaras that I have to rank today. I hope it was helpful. Let me know if you plan to try any of these. If you've tried any of them, let us know your thoughts down below. But that is it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, definitely make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'll also leave the rest of the videos that I've done in my ranking series linked down below so you can check them out. But anyway, I hope to see you again very soon, and hopefully I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.